is going on, hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub, and this is K-Dub's High Five, 5 rapid fire questions with your favorite hobby faces. And today I bring in one of the Twitter hobby favorites. He's the yin to my yang, the slim to my shady, the two to my Pac, the big to my notorious, whatever you want to call it, the kid to my play. My good friend Jimmy Bible on Twitter at Jimmy Bible. Jimmy, how you doing today, man?
What's happening, bro? Glad to be here.
Man, I'm glad we can make it happen, dude. It's awesome to be face to face, somewhat face to face. So, anyways, how it's gonna work, man? I want to hear your hobby story. So I got 5 hobby questions. I'm gonna throw them at you one after another. You ready to take on the high five?
Let's do it.
All right, man. First question. I know kind of you and I connected kind of mid-pandemic. So I just kind of want to know kind of like, how did the pandemic kind of impact your collecting, getting you back into the hobby? Like, what was the role of the pandemic to bring you into the hobby?
Dude, they shut down fishing out here. I couldn't get outside,
Yeah.
and I was still working full time. We were considered essential. And yeah, man, I just, needed something to do on my days off. And a buddy of mine actually called me, and he was moving out your way, and he was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and he was like, "Hey man, I know you're into memorabilia, like come get this." And that's where I got those Griffey prints, and he gave me a bunch of cards. And my kids were looking through them, and he had some old Star Wars cards in there and stuff, and they were like, "Whoa." I was like, "Oh yeah, you guys have never seen this," and so kind of got back into it with the kids.
And then kind of what drew you to, like, obviously Twitter is kind of your social media hub, but like what drew you to there for as far as cards go? How did you figure that out?
I met Chris from Goldmine. And,
okay.
And I don't know how. I must have followed a Seahawks fan who was also into the hobby, and they had retweeted his tweet about sending Claire cards because she was having a COVID birthday.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, "Oh man, that's gotta suck for you." Like,
yeah.
No party, nothing. Like, at least we had more people in the house. So yeah, man, I sent her a couple cards and had some of the girls from church, and I think one of my aunts sent her a card, and then he was like, "Do you collect?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And Griffey's my guy, and he was like, "I'm gonna hook you up." And so then I started following Chris, and kind of it just snowballed from there.
Wow, man. Well, shout out Goal Line Cards, man. He's been on the show before. I was just texting with him today, so he's a great dude. So all right, well, let's get to your origins of collecting, man. When you think about your personal collecting journey, who would you say have been some of your kind of biggest influences in your collecting?
Well, I mean, I kind of got into it myself, just like going to the laundromat with mom back in the day in the 80s, and walking to the corner store for some Skittles and a Sprite. And, you got a little extra. They have those Garbage Pail Kids cards. That kind of started it. And then, friends with friends and whatnot at school. But my dad actually got me into like ripping multiple packs. He got me my first couple boxes. He got me a box of 91 Skybox and 91 Upper Deck football. And that yeah, man, then I had I had a cool neighbor who kind of he's kind of the reason that I collect as much stuff as I do, as far as like antiques go and the memorabilia side of things. He was a retired Navy diver who collected shells and matchbooks and sports pins. I don't know if you remember back in the day, like every gas station had the Mariners and Seahawks pins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he collected all that stuff, man. And so he'd show me his stuff, and I saw I guess I kind of saw the joy it brought to him, and I wanted some of that. Yeah. And so he started getting me into the memorabilia. His name was Lynn Bush. He was a super cool old dude. I remember. But nice. Those, him and my dad, they started this.
We blame them,
right?
No, man, I know that I've done probably 50 plus of these, and dads get brought up a lot, and just the impact of fathers to sons in their collecting. And I know, like you said, you got kids and I got kids, and just the importance of kind of having something to do with your kids is pretty dang sweet. So
yeah, it's awesome.
I love it.
I dig it.
I love it. Anyone checking this out, I always like to hear if your dad's inspired you in the collecting. I'm a dad. He's a dad. Drop a comment that your dad was a piece of your collecting journey. So it's really cool to hear from other people's stories.
Yeah.
All right, man. I know the kid is your man, but let's talk the Grail card for you, or we can even say the Grail item, because you said you collect everything. When it comes to collecting, what is the grail item for you and why?
Man, for the longest time it was that '89 Upper Deck rookie.
Oh yeah,
rookie that signed. Like, I wanted that so bad, but when that Project 2020 came out and Old Man Allen dropped that Griffey with the S with the tag on the hat, like, oh, bro, that's it. I got to get that.
you don't have it yet?
I have the card, but I want it with the Griffey auto.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a different story.
That's probably my grail piece, and yeah.
So what artist was it?
It was Old Man Allen.
Old Man Allen. Okay.
Yeah, and it's so, like, if you guys aren't familiar with it, you got to check it out. He's got the blue Seattle hat with the S, and he's got the tag on it. I just remember all my snapbacks with the tags on them back.
Oh yeah. My wife still gives me a hard time because I won't take tags off things.
Right.
Part of that was because I wore it for like 2 months and then I would take it back.
I ain't telling no one.
That's all right. Shout out to those companies who took my used clothes back like they were new. So
just the rags.
Hey, now we're talking. All right, man. Well, there's the card. Let's talk about the product for you. If you had all the money in the world, can rip any product you want, what box are you going to rip and why?
2017 Topps High Tech, because I'm still chasing that Haniger rookie rainbow.
Okay. So where are we at in the process?
Man, I just I've got a bunch of them, but there's still a couple I need, a couple of the lower number stuff.
Okay.
And it's so hard to pull the trigger on it because I'm just so worried that those high tech cards are going to be bricked up, from sitting in Dave McCoy's sweaty basement.
No, I got you. Now that set is a little bit. Is that the acetate cards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those, I mean, shoot, man, I remember some of those fresh out of the pack that were stuck together.
Oh,
so I can only imagine what.
Yeah, sitting for 6 or 7 years. I mean, we know with 90s stuff. I mean, that stuff just sticks together. So
yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Haniger's 2017 High Tech. If you got any of the low number stuff, reach out to my man or me.
Holler at me. I need them.
As long as they're not bricked up. We want nice, clean.
Right. I'll put a list together and post it one of these days with some pictures.
Heck yeah. All right, man. Last question here. When you think about collecting for you, like when you were younger, to like the middle of your life and now to where you're at now, like how would you say that your collecting has changed or evolved during that time, even to like today, to how your collecting is different to maybe how it was 5 or 6 years ago?
Well, I got a wife, so I can't bring home as much stuff.
Yeah.
I got so much stuff boxed up. It's ridiculous, that it doesn't look right if you display it. So, but I mean, I think it's just, technology. That's a big one. I can find anything I want,
yeah,
via eBay and Twitter and things like that. And, and I got money. So not like I'm balling, but you know what I mean? Like,
I got you.
My hobby fund's a little bigger than it was when I was mowing lawns.
Yeah. Well, obviously the hobby is a little bit more expensive than when we were mowing lawns too. So that piece has changed as well.
That too.
Yeah.
Able to, and then find stuff. Yeah, it's cool because there's not as many antique shops around anymore. There's not as many sports card shops anymore. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, with the technology piece, our ability to find cards, we can get on eBay and we can search the name, the number, the print, and there it is. Whereas when we were kids, it was like you had to open the packs to get the cards you wanted. That was the move that you had to make. And so I think that's kind of the biggest change right there, is the idea of you are now able to find those cards in an instant.
Yep.
It's not like definitely. I have to rip open, 11 packs of Collector's Choice to get this card that I want,
right
there on eBay. So very true. Very true. All right, man. I got one more question for you.
Let's do it.
We all know, man, you are the hobby MC. Okay. I'm going to make sure to drop on the description. So if you're watching this, my man's got bars. I'm going to drop the Hobby Fan Revival. I'm going to drop the Hobby Cypher. rap that you and I did together.
Yeah.
Give me like a minute, 2 minutes of just like hip hop, man. How did that become part of your life? Like, did you have a time where you were doing hip hop music like for real, or was it always just kind of this hobby thing that you were doing?
It was always just a hobby thing. I mean, I did some stuff with some friends in high school and after, but you know, it was more of just, you know, hanging out, drinking beers, and you know, doing some stuff. They had some legit stuff going on, but yeah, for me, it was always just fun, and I got into it, man. My family's very diverse. I'm one of the only white kids. My stepdad's black, and so growing up, you know, I grew up in the hood. I mean, you know, rap and soul music, funk. That was a huge influence.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kind of tend to lean towards like Bay Area hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got all that same stuff I grew up on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, that's really it. I blame my stepdad.
Well, does your stepdad got bars? Because my friend, you got some bars.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
But, no, he didn't rap. He just provided the music, you know. So
yeah, no, I love it, man. I love it. All right,
that's
man.
pretty much it.
We cleared it. We even got a bonus in there.
I gotta ask you. What? Hold on. 1 second. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna shoot that question back to you. What got you into hip hop?
Well, believe it or not, when I was growing up, my best friend, his brothers were they were gang members, and when I would go over to their house, they would have nothing but Tupac playing. Now I'm as white as they come. My parents, I grew up, you know, as white as they come. My mom loves country music, and I started listening to Tupac with them, and I fell in love with it. And some of it was the piece of, you know, those guys were the cooler older brothers, but also like, you know, Tupac's words, his lyrics, they spoke to me as a you know 10-year-old white kid from Kennewick, Washington, and I attribute a lot of that to my love of hip hop was Tupac. But then as I, you know, started advancing in my kind of musical sense, you know, I started finding all sorts of other rappers out there who I loved, and so I would say that, you know, hip hop music and rap music kind of drove me to get into trying to do it for myself, and, you know, starting to figure out writing and all that stuff. But I'm still friends with them to this day. And
there you go. There you go.
His brothers. So
that's what's up.
Yep. So
well, hey, now you can get that high five.
Oh, high five! Boom! Throw it up! Throw it up!
Boom!
Boom! Slap it! All right. Hey man, check out my dude on Twitter. Great follow at Jimmy Bible. Also, please make sure you sub to the channel Dizzy Dub 1. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. K-Dub. Shout out to the High Five endorsers this year. Rack of the Day, Eric Hecker, Buck City Breaks. Always remember, my friends, be the good of the world. Be the good to yourselves. Be the good to each other. And man, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship. And I'm really glad we connected via Twitter. And now we can hopefully go outside of Twitter one of these days. And
there you go. There you go. Thanks for having me, brother. Love you, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time on the next High Five.